I couldn't picture living with one person. Now I can't picture a day without you. The Big Bang Theory entertained us for years. After the cameras stopped rolling, what about the stars? Some discovered permanent love, while others had unexpected relationship changes. Which couple's tale will shock you most? Whose romance is sitcom-like? Join us. Cast members and their real-life partners revealed. A good comedy. Few shows captured audiences like Big Bang Theory. From its debut season, it drew millions of viewers weekly. It was one of TV's best comedy for 12 years. Even after its 2019 finale, viewers returned. Because it was well-made and endlessly engaging. The arrangement was straightforward but effective. Leonard, Sheldon, Howard, and Raj, for smart but socially inept scientists, lived among comic books, video games, and awkward conversations. Penny, the cheerful neighbor, balanced their mathematics and experiments with her warmth. The circle expanded with Amy, Bernadette, and Stuart. The growing cast kept the program vibrant, and their friendships made the stories hilarious and realistic. Television superstar Sheldon Cooper, played by Jim Parsons, was the breakout star. For instance, "Tonight No One Needs to Know My Middle Name is Leaky." Comedy gold came from his talent, arrogance, and naive honesty. He was intriguing because of his growth. He stayed odd and direct, but he gradually learnt love, empathy, and compromise. Parson won prizes and fans worldwide with his flawless performance. The show was about the group, not just Sheldon. The series' emotional foundation was Leonard and Penny's romance. Howard and Raj's loud camaraderie was warm, while Penny's amusing fights with Sheldon were classics. Amy and Bernadette joined. When does the costume parade start? They made the series funnier and more energetic. Each character was important, creating a family-like group. The comedy was clever and amusing. Every episode was full of sharp jokes and silly foolishness that made viewers chuckle. Some gags were running jokes, some dipped into nerd culture, and others displayed daily disarray. Not every joke was great, but the consistency across 279 episodes was astonishing. No doubt, the show was imperfect. Some tales felt extended, and Raj didn't always have the best arcs. Big Bang Theory's attraction persisted despite its flaws. Because of the real comedy, brilliant actors, and writing that balanced laughter and emotion, fans kept watching. It's clear why the program lasted and is still adored. The cast carried on with their lives and found love after the show finished. Which cast members found love, and where are they now? Kaley Cuoco and Johnny Galecki's real-life romance. Leonard and Sheldon were generally the least likely to date on Big Bang Theory. Off-screen, though, Johnny Galecki and Jim Parsons, their actors, found love. That featured a real-life romance with Kaley Cuoco, Galecki's castmate. Although Leonard and Penny didn't get together until season 3, Galecki and Cuoco had chemistry from the start. Cuoco said she had a tremendous crush on Galecki early in filming. Season 1 chemistry continued as their characters hinted a connection. Both ultimately acted on it behind the scenes. Pretty good. Pretty good. Galecki and Cuoco dated in 2008 and stayed private for 2 years before splitting in 2010. They split without fuss, unlike many Hollywood couples. While their characters became closer on film, they remained friends and worked together. Cuoco revealed a humorous twist. She observed their writings had more kissing and personal scenes after their split. She speculated that Chuck Lorre was teasing people by giving Leonard and Penny more romantic moments. Despite their breakup, Galecki and Cuoco's ability to laugh and stay close made their story almost as enjoyable as the show. Did Johnny Galecki experience the same? Johnny Galecki's off-screen life. Since Big Bang Theory, Johnny Galecki's personal life has changed drastically. The 43-year-old actor started dating 21-year-old model Elena Meyer in 2018. The pair posted images and appeared on red carpets to show their happiness. In 2019, they had Avery, a son. Galecki's portrayal as a loving father was popular, but the relationship ended. They split in 2020 but co-parented their son. Soon later, Galecki found love again. Fans were shocked when he married Morgan Galecki in 2024. The pair had a daughter and had been together since 2023, but they kept their relationship covert. Who cares what Penny thinks? Great gal, Leslie. She's pretty. This romance is quieter than his others, with Galecki's social media posts showing merely a few moments of their lives. In Nashville, Tennessee, the Galeckis raised their 2 children. Though they avoid the spotlight, the little details provided indicate a happy and stable family. After years in Hollywood, Galecki seemed to have settled into a domestic existence focused on love, parenting, and solitude. The actor known as Leonard Hofstadter plays a different character, but one that fits him. Galecki now enjoys family life more than comedy tapings. Although Galecki lived a quieter life, his co-star Kaley Cuoco was involved in a whirlwind affair that made headlines. She married Ryan Sweeting. Kaley Cuoco frenzy. Ryan Sweeting marriage. Kaley Cuoco's first marriage was brief and rapid. In August 2013, she met professional tennis player Ryan Sweeting, and their relationship moved quickly. After weeks of dating, they moved in and got engaged in September. A few months later, on New Year's Eve 2013, Cuoco married in a fairy tale-like ceremony. At first, their fast romance felt like a movie. The quickness astonished fans, but the duo appeared deeply in love. Indivisible. Cuoco seemed to have found her happily ever after. Not really. Didn't you say you needed eggs? Yes, but the fast-paced romance ended. Within 2 years of saying, do, Cuoco and Sweeting divorced in 2015. She kept silent about the incident, leaving people confused about what went wrong so rapidly. Cuoco revealed her terrible divorce years later. Kaley Cuoco, his co-star, was swept up in a whirlwind relationship that made headlines while Galecki lived a quieter life. She married Ryan Sweeting. Kaley Cuoco and Carl Cook love animals. Kaley Cuoco seems to bond with equestrian Carl Cook more calmly after her fast-paced relationship with Ryan Sweeting. At a 2016 horse event, their passion of animals brought them together. Within a year of getting engaged in 2017, they married in a small, personal ceremony. Cuoco regularly praised Cook's kindness. Someone who works with animals must be nice, she remarked. He's patient and compassionate, like a horse whisperer. Their horse stable wedding is lovely. Showed animal love. Cuoco said she anticipated her wedding at his property when she first visited, and it came true. An intimate celebration. Close friends and family. Cuoco once named Cook her ideal partner. Not much. Yes, our chocolate key lime is selling well. Their common interests and lifestyles made the partnership easy, and fans loved how happy they seemed. A apparently flawless romance might struggle. Cook and Cuoco filed for divorce in 2021 after diverging. Their relationship was based on mutual passions and admiration, even though it ended. Cuoco's brief romance with Cook revealed her desire for real love based on respect and understanding. She met actor Tom Pelphrey in 2022 through their mutual manager, and it was love at first sight. Could she finally find true love? Tom Pelphrey, Kaley Cuoco. Tom Pelphrey and Kaley Cuoco rekindled their romance in 2022. Their shared manager set up their meeting and recognized a wonderful match. It was love at first sight for Cuoco. Instant chemistry led to a serious romance. The couple's September 2022 red carpet debut showed their compatibility. Fans were overjoyed when Cuoco and Pelphrey announced their pregnancy a month later. Their daughter arrived in March 2023. You're clever. Yes, I'm brilliant. Matilda Carmine and Richie Pelphrey start a happy new chapter. Since then, they've shown viewers their lovely family life, enchanting followers. Their love has been constant and warm, unlike Cuoco's previous frenzied romances. They engaged in August 2024, marking another exciting chapter in their relationship. Jim Parsons' love story with Todd Spywalk has endured, unlike Cuoco's. Todd Spywalk, Jim Parsons. Love that endured. Todd Spywak matched Jim Parsons' clever and quirky Sheldon Cooper. On a blind date in 2002, they started a long-term romance. For a decade, Parsons and his partner kept their relationship covert until 2012. They didn't initially want to marry. They enjoyed living together without formalities, concentrating on love and companionship, not marriage. Finally, in 2017, the couple married in New York City's Rainbow Room in a beautiful ceremony. He's with Leslie Winkle, or a 1930s gangster. Parsons said the day was more impactful than expected. It was more profound than I expected in the moment. I found it more significant since then than I ever saw coming, he said. Their relationship has remained steady and loving. Beyond their marriage, the couple has built a small but happy family that includes 3 dogs, reflecting their shared love for a simple and joyful life together. But how did things turn out for Simon Helberg, whose journey with Jocelyn Town led to a love story with its own happy ending? Simon Helberg and Jocelyn Town, love and a happy ending. Simon Helberg, who brought Howard Wolowitz to life on The Big Bang Theory, has enjoyed a steady and loving marriage with Jocelyn Town. The two tied the knot in 2007, the same year the show first aired, and they have been together ever since. Their family includes 2 children, a son named Wilder and a daughter named Adeline, rounding out their happy household. What makes their story especially interesting is how Helberg turned part of their real-life romance into art. In 2014, he wrote and co-directed the film. Will never have Paris, inspired by a breakup and reconciliation he experienced with Town. The movie, while fictionalized, reflects the ups and downs of their early relationship and his determined efforts to win her back. The film ultimately mirrors reality. Their love endured. The couple's ability to overcome challenges early on set the stage for a long, committed marriage. Fans of Helberg often admire how his personal life mirrors the warmth and humor he brings to Howard on screen. But what about Mayim Bialik, whose journey after The Big Bang Theory combined both personal love and professional partnership with Jonathan Cohen? Mayim Bialik and Jonathan Cohen. Mayim Bialik, known to fans of The Big Bang Theory as the quirky and brilliant Amy Farrah Fowler, has had her share of love stories off-screen as well. She was married to Michael Stone for a decade, from 2003 until 2013. Together, they built a family and are proud parents to two sons, Miles and Frederick. Even though their marriage ended, Bialik has often spoken warmly about raising her children and co-parenting with Stone. After her divorce, Bialik eventually found love again with Jonathan Cohen, someone she had known for more than 10 years. While the couple tends to keep their relationship private, they have allowed fans a small glimpse into their partnership through their work together. The two co-host a podcast called Mayim Bialik's Breakdown, which dives into mental health, relationships, and life's many challenges. Their teamwork on the show highlights the natural bond they share, both as friends and partners. Fans often note how genuine and supportive their dynamic feels, making it clear that their connection runs deep. Though they don't often make their private life public, it's obvious that Bialik and Cohen have found comfort and happiness with one another. With her successful career, her role as a mother, and a supportive partner by her side, Bialik's story reflects resilience, growth, and the beauty of finding love again. Meanwhile, Kunal Nair's path to lasting romance took a different turn. One that began in 2008, when he first met Neha Kapoor and instantly felt she was far beyond his reach. Could fate have proven him wrong? Kunal Nair and Neha Kapoor, a love story across distance. Kunal Nair, best known as Raj on The Big Bang Theory, has enjoyed a lasting romance in real life with his wife, Neha Kapoor. The two first crossed paths in 2008 at a bar opening. And for Nair, it was love at first sight. Reflecting on that moment, he once shared, "My first thought was, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. My second thought was, she's way out of my league." Despite those doubts, the spark between them was undeniable. After their first meeting, Nair and Kapoor began a relationship that wasn't always easy, as they had to navigate the challenges of long distance. Yet, instead of pulling them apart, the separation only made their bond stronger. By 2011, they decided to tie the knot, marking the start of a new chapter together. Kapoor, a model and former Miss India, has built a career of her own while supporting Nair through his journey in Hollywood. The couple is often admired for the way they complement each other, balancing glamour, success, and a grounded partnership. Although the pair have chosen not to have children, their relationship is full of love and respect. Nair and Kapoor's story is a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful connections begin with a single, unexpected encounter. More than a decade later, they continue to share their lives with one another, proving that real love can endure, even in the spotlight. If the series was that good, and people loved it, why did it end? Why The Big Bang Theory came to an end for years? The Big Bang Theory felt like one of those shows that would never stop running. Just like how a Marvel movie always seems to be in theaters, or a classic rock station always plays Don't Stop Believin', every fall fans could count on new episodes of this nerdy but lovable sitcom. From its 2007 debut, the series about Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, and friends only grew more popular, eventually becoming the longest-running multi-camera comedy in American TV history with 12 seasons. But in 2019, the laughter finally faded. The biggest reason? Jim Parsons, the actor behind Sheldon Cooper, decided it was time to move on. Parsons had already achieved fame, fortune, and critical success, winning 4 Emmys and earning millions each year. After 12 years of playing the same character, he was ready for new challenges, like theater projects and other acting roles. Reports even suggested he turned down a massive $50 million deal to stay on for more seasons. For Parsons, who brought the socially awkward yet brilliant Sheldon Cooper to life, the choice was less about drama and more about timing. In his view, the series had accomplished everything it set out to do. After years of storylines, character growth, and endless experiments in both love and science, he believed the show had naturally reached its limit. It wasn't about problems behind the scenes or dissatisfaction. It was simply that the creative well had been tapped dry, and stretching it further might risk diluting the magic that made the sitcom special. There was also a personal side to the decision. Parsons, in his mid-40s as the show neared its finale, felt the years catching up with him. Playing Sheldon required embodying a younger, eccentric man whose wardrobe was frozen in time, with bright superhero shirts and comic book logos that worked perfectly for a quirky genius, but didn't match the actor's stage in life. Parsons admitted that the thought of continuing to wear those youthful costumes into his late 40s didn't sit quite right. It was a gentle reminder that television characters never age, but actors inevitably do. When Parsons told co-creator Chuck Lorre he was leaving, Lorre made a tough choice. Rather than try to rework the show without Sheldon, he decided to end it altogether. At a cast meeting in 2018, Parsons tearfully announced season 12 would be his last. Immediately after, Lorre told the rest of the cast that it would be everyone's last. While the main series ended, Sheldon Cooper didn't vanish from television altogether. CBS, knowing the character's cultural weight, had already prepared a successor in young Sheldon. The spin-off dives into Sheldon's formative years in Texas, exploring how a brilliant yet socially misplaced child coped in a world that rarely understood him. Although Parsons no longer stepped into Sheldon's shoes on screen, he stayed connected by narrating the young genius's adventures, adding his voice and presence to the show. But Jim Parsons' decision to leave wasn't the only reason for the show ending. The next one is shocking. The cast was ready for the curtain call. While Jim Parsons' decision to leave became the final push that ended The Big Bang Theory, he wasn't the only star feeling ready to move on. Interestingly, they don't actually put the fork in their mouth. They use it to put the food on a spoon, which then goes into their mouth. Johnny Galecki, who played the lovable Leonard Hofstadter, had already hinted that season 12 might be the perfect time to say goodbye. Speaking at the Television Critics Association's Winter Press Tour in 2018, Galecki explained that while the cast would be sad when the show wrapped, 12 seasons felt like a full and satisfying run. For him, it was the right moment to step away and spend more time with family. When the announcement finally came, the rest of the cast met the news with a mix of gratitude and sadness. Kaylee Cuoco, forever remembered as Penny, poured her emotions into an Instagram post, calling the show a dream come true and as life-changing as it gets. She admitted her heart would always feel broken when it ended, but promised fans one final season filled with love and laughter. Kunal Nair, known for his role as Raj, shared his feelings in a heartfelt note online. He wrote that words could never capture the love he felt for the fans who supported them, adding that the bond they created was endless. Mayim Bialik, who played Amy Farrah Fowler, was equally honest in her blog, saying she wasn't happy to see it end, but remained deeply thankful for her job, her castmates, and the loyal fans who made it all possible. Even though the cast was clearly ready for a new chapter, a story isn't truly finished until the final curtain falls. Did The Big Bang Theory really fulfill its purpose before saying goodbye? The stories had reached their end. Although Jim Parsons' departure set the wheels in motion and Chuck Lorre refused to imagine the show without Sheldon, another truth lingered in the background. The Big Bang Theory had simply told most of the stories it could. After nearly 300 episodes, the writers had explored almost every angle of life for Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, Raj, Howard, Bernadette, and Amy. Over 12 years, viewers watched the characters grow in ways that sitcoms rarely allow. The awkward young scientists who once obsessed over comic books and awkward dating slowly transformed into adults with marriages, families, and impressive careers. Leonard and Penny built a future together. Sheldon and Amy found love and professional triumph, and Howard and Bernadette raised a family, while Raj navigated his struggles with relationships and identity. Their journeys felt full, their arcs complete. In the end, the show had tied up most of its long-running threads. Even the infamous broken elevator, a running gag from the very beginning, was finally repaired, a subtle signal that the story had come full circle. The cast didn't express bitterness about the show's closure. With enormous success, historic ratings, and paychecks that made television history, they had much to celebrate rather than mourn. For them, and for the writers, the timing felt right. Continuing might have stretched thin a story that had already been told beautifully. Ending on a high note allowed The Big Bang Theory to remain a comedy remembered for its charm rather than its decline. But because the cast were happy doesn't mean they did not encounter challenges. What are some of the challenges that they faced? Behind-the-scenes challenges and changing times. Another factor that signaled the end of The Big Bang Theory was the looming contract negotiations. When a show reaches enormous popularity, networks can't simply cancel it. They need the cast on board to keep the money machine running. By the late seasons, Jim Parsons, Johnny Galecki, and Kaylee Cuoco were each earning around $900,000 per episode, close to the legendary million-dollar salaries of the Friends cast. With season 12 wrapping up, the deal signed in 2017, CBS and Warner Brothers would soon have to renegotiate with the stars. That uncertainty added tension, and once Parsons revealed he was leaving, talks became irrelevant. At the same time, the series felt like a product of another era. While it still dominated ratings, the show's traditional format, multi-camera filming with a laugh track, was becoming outdated in a TV world leaning towards single-camera comedies like its spin-off Young Sheldon. Audiences were evolving, and so was comedy. There was also growing cultural criticism. In the wake of the #MeToo movement, some of the show's older storylines drew backlash. Critics pointed out moments that hadn't aged well, such as jokes involving spying on women or playing harassment for laughs. While fans still tuned in, the shift in public perspective made the humor feel dated. Together, the combination of expensive contracts, changing tastes, and cultural scrutiny made ending the show at its peak the wiser choice, allowing it to close on a high note rather than struggle to keep up with a changing world. Who was your favorite character from the show? And if it ever continued, would you tune in again? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.